Welcome. I get questions concerning canine aggression. Sometimes people want to know why their dog is not aggressive, or sometimes they want to know how do they make their dog aggressive. Aggression is a canine behavior, and it exhibits itself in the canine body language, either by growling or by the stiff body or by the holding of the tail in a particular direction. However, aggression are of different types. So being able to identify which type of aggression helps you understand what to do, either to stop or to enhance the aggression, or how to use the aggression to the advantage in training. There are basically 5 types of aggression, and I'll identify them. First of all is possessive aggression. This is what we call food aggression. This is when a dog believes that that food, that toy, that collar, that leash belongs to him and doesn't want anybody interfering with it. So if you try to touch that thing, the dog gets aggressive towards you. It may bite, it may growl, or it may just rush you, depending on which breed of dog it is. So this kind of aggression is something we notice very early in puppies. Puppies who are used to struggling for food tend to grow up having food aggression. The second type of aggression is territorial aggression. Territorial aggression is where the dog sees the environment as its own and its duty is to protect that territory. There are 2 reasons for this. Sometimes a dog may not have been socialized beyond its environment, so it keeps guard of that environment. Anything within its environment, it's its own, and anything outside there, it doesn't care. Sometimes, again, it's based on training. If you train a dog to guard that particular territory, the dog grows to guard that territory. And dog trainers know very well how to use this kind of aggression in terms of training a dog to guard property and so on. The third type of aggression is pain aggression. Pain sometimes creates aggression. If a dog is feeling extreme pain, just like a human being, and you want to touch that painful part of it, it may react. In the case of a human being, it will scream that there's pain. But in case of a dog, it may growl, it may bite, it may get aggressive because that pain is sending some messages through its neural system, and it's to protect itself and to stay alive, it will growl at you or attack you. Another form of aggression is social aggression. Okay. Social aggression is where when you walk a dog, or like I saw on one video, where you take a dog for a walk and it attacks another dog, it shows you that the dog has not been properly socialized and therefore it sees every other dog as a challenge to it. Bigger dogs challenging smaller dogs challenging bigger dogs in areas like that. The last part of aggression is fear aggression. In fear aggression, the dog is basically afraid. And in being afraid, it's trying to protect itself. And in trying to protect itself, the only way it knows how to protect itself is reacting aggressively. So a dog has been cornered into somewhere and it's only fight that it requires to get itself out of that place. It becomes aggressive in order to escape. If you're, for instance, those who beat dogs and you beat a dog into a corner, the dog will react automatically because it has nowhere else to run. And that's fear aggression. It's afraid that it will be annihilated in that corner and is going to fight back. So these are 5 types of aggression. Knowing how to use them and knowing the signs, like I said earlier, the body language of the dog, it will either growl, the body will be stiff, it will raise its hackles, it will keep its tail straight. So watching the body language of the dog on time and understanding what type of aggression it is helps you manage your dog. And no matter the dog, they can show any signs of aggression, no matter how small, no matter how big, no matter how well bred the dog is. Sometimes they show those forms of aggression, and you need to know how to follow it. For all these forms of aggression, they can be managed, and you need to know how to manage them. For instance, for pain aggression, this results either the dog has pain due to some illness, or if you have a dog around children, the children are pulling his tail, his ear, and so on. So you need to set limits with children in terms of how they manage those kind of things with dogs, pinching dogs, and so on. So it's nice to tell the children, don't do this and don't do that because the dog is going to react. If you have possessive aggression, especially for puppies, it's normally around food or their toys. So begin to put your hand in the food, try to show them that you're not taking the food, you're just putting it down for them to eat, and begin to talk to them in nice tones. Your tone also helps them relax in those kind of issues. and then you can eventually begin to play with them with those with that food or that toy that they are normally aggressive about. If it's territorial and social aggression, you then need to keep socializing the dog. Take the dog out, take it out for walks, let it hear other noises outside, let it hear other dogs, let it even see other dogs. Take it to places where it has the capacity to see dogs and hear other dogs bark, so that it becomes used to those things in its environment. So environmentally and socially, it becomes acclimatized to those kind of things, and you get the best out of the dog, so that when you're walking your dog, it's not pulling you towards another dog because it wants to fight, because it's used to dogs or other animals, for instance, if it's goats, chickens, and so on. So you need to do a proper socialization to get the advantage of social and environmental aggression, and your dog becomes very well balanced. Now, in some of these things, I have talked about them before, and I have infographics about them, and I'll repost those infographics for you to go back, look at, and listen to my previous posts on these same issues, so it can educate you very well. And then do well to also do your own personal research on these things. They always help for you to look out for these things on your own. Thank you.